Good afternoon. Today I will talk about ethical communication about customer data using machine learning projects. In this scenario, I am focusing on technology firm that uses customer data to train or improve a machine learning system. My goal is to explain how these data practices should be communicated clearly and responsibly. I believe this kind of communication should not be treated only as a public relation. It is also part of ethical governance because customers need to understand what happens to their data, why it is used, how it is protected, and what choices they have. The main communication challenge is the difference between what company understands about data use and what customers can realistically understand. The machine learning system may use account data, purchase history, product usage data, support request, or even online behavior. For engineers, this may seems like a normal product improvement. For customers, it may feel like monitoring, profiling, or possibly misuse of personal information. Because of this, I think the company should avoid vague statements such as "we use data for improve our service." Instead, it should explain the data lifecycle, like clear language, including collection, purpose, protection, storage, and customer control. Several ethical considerations are important in this situation: transparency, informed choice, data minimization, security, fairness, accountability, and human oversight. Transparency means customers should know what data is collected and why. Informed choice means uh, that they should understand what they can accept and reject or change. Data minimization means the company should collect only the data needed for a specific purpose. Security is protecting the data from unauthorized access and breaches. Fairness is also important because machine learning models can repeat bias if the data and result are not reviewed correctly. Finally, accountability means that the responsibility should remain with the company, not with the algorithm. In communication plan, there are four main objectives. First, I want to explain customer data use in plain language. Second, I want to support informed choice by showing customers what options and rights they have. Third, I want internal communication to be consistent. So sales, support, legal, security, machine learning terms do not give different explanations. Fourth, I want to show accountability through documentation and evidence. The target audience include customers, employees, data teams, leadership, regulation, auditors, and the partners. Each audience needs the same ethical foundation, but with a different level of details. Key messages should be specific and easy to understand. The first message explains what the data is collected, only the data needed for defined service and machine learning improvement. The second message explains why the data is used: to improve accuracy, reliability, safety, and customer experience. The third message explains how the data is protected, including access controls, encryption, monitoring, retention limits. The fourth message focused on reduction harm, fraud bias checks, human reviews, and risk assessments. The final message gave customer a clear action path, such as asking questions, changing privacy choices, and or contacting support. Now about channels and tools. I would use several communication channels in this plan. Externally, the company should provide a clear privacy notice, assure data use for frequently asked questions, understandable consent screens, help center articles, and customer emails when practices uh, changes. Internally, the company should use staff training, approved scripts, communication handbooks, and an escalation checklist for difficult questions. Governance tools are also needed. A data inventory, model cards, risk assessments, templates, and decision logs can help prove that public messages are supported by real internal practices, not only by marketing language. Implementation I would organize over 6 weeks. In the first week, companies should audit data flow, identify sensitive data, review third-party access, and map the main risks. In week 2, I should it should define key messages, approval, procedures, and responsible owners. During next 2 weeks, the company should prepare public materials and train employees. In week 5, it should launch the updated communication through the website, product interface, and support channels. From week 6 onwards, I would recommend collecting feedback, reviewing questions, and improving materials. The timeline should remain flexible because data practices and machine learning systems can change. Evaluation and conclusion. Evaluation should measure clarity, trust, and accountability. I would check customer understanding through short surveys and feedback forms. Support questions can show which topics are still confusing. Staff knowledge checks can test whether employees explain the policy consistently. Government's records should also be reviewed to confirm that data inventories, risk assessments, and model documentations are complete. The company should monitor compliance, opt-outs, consent withdrawals, and incidents. To conclude, I believe ethical communication is a part of ethical machine learning. It helps data to be used responsibly while maintaining customer trust and organizational accountability. Thank you for your attention.